Hello there guys and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for episode number 6 of our F1 2014 career mode with Force India here at Monaco. 94% chance of rain as you can see in the background, and I hope you guys liked that intro. So that was quite time consuming, but I hope you guys liked it. We're starting on the option tyre, so it's dry at the moment, but I've just got to apologise quickly, because I know it's been so long since an F1 video. I've got mock exams coming up, so I'm revising for those. Schedule was a little bit unbalanced, but don't worry F1 fans, I've not forgotten. There will be an absolute ton of videos over Christmas of F1 career mode, so look out for that. But in the meantime, before we get into the race, it is time for the qualifying report. Qualifying would prove to be rain affected yet again, as it was Pastor Maldonado and the Lotus who dealt with it best in front of Yusufu and Ricciardo. There were no more heroics from Kamui Kobayashi, who would start 19th, just behind the other Lotus of Romain Grosjean. Q2 saw a slight weather improvement and the fastest lap from Ferrari's Kimi Raikkonen. Nico Hülkenberg took a solid second, with the two Mercedes third and fourth. Valtteri Bottas and Kevin Magnussen were eliminated along with Yusufu for the first time this season as Adrian Sutil progressed. But in the shootout, Lewis Hamilton would yet again take pole in front of Daniel Ricciardo. Jenson Button was once again strong in qualifying, taking third in front of Sebastian Vettel. It wasn't such a strong day, however, for Nico Rosberg, who will start in 5th and has a lot of work to do to catch Lewis Hamilton tomorrow. So all of this means that yet again this season, Lewis Hamilton will take pole, this time in Monaco, in front of Daniel Ricciardo, Jenson Button and Sebastian Vettel. Rosberg would start 5th in the other Mercedes in front of Fernando Alonso and Kimi Raikkonen, with Nico Hülkenberg in 8th, Felipe Massa in 9th and a solid qualifying for Sutil in 10th. So then, not a brilliant qualifying session here in Monaco, of course, at a track which is so hard to overtake at, starting 13th on the grid. There you could see Nico Hülkenberg starting 8th on the grid, so he yet again out-qualifies us, is now 3-all in the out-qualifying table. We're just behind Bottas and Magnussen, just in front of Q2 here in Maldonado, but 5 lights are now off and we are underway here at Monaco. It's an okay start, real good start for Maldonado, pretty poor start for both the Toro Rossos behind Magnussen and Bottas, very cautious on the brakes. Sutil there on the inside, he just decides to clamber across the curbs. Bottas just pincering us in there, a little bit of contact with him. Wasn't expecting him to cut back across the track there, and Bottas just brake checks us. Maldonado goes right around the outside, but now coming through the next corner, round the outside into the casino complex and round the outside of Bottas, up the inside now of him, and through past Magnussen as well. So that's 2 places there in 2 corners. Now up the inside of Nico Hülkenberg into Mirabeau, and wow. And is the Lowe's hair? I really needed to learn the corner names for Monaco. I know the corner names for Monaco, but I just forget far too easily. We're past Hülkenberg though now. So having lost out to Maldonado in the initial getaway, we're now in front of Maldonado. We managed to get past Bottas, who we made contact with on that first lap, and then get past Magnussen, and then get past Hülkenberg, as we got real twitchy there, under braking, and then just, I don't even know what happened there. I think a little bit of a moment as well, halfway through the chicane, of which I don't know, into this corner, of which I should know, but still don't know, through the swimming pool complex, and through that quick chicane. And well, it's been an alright first lap. We've gone horrendously wide there and smacked into the bollard on the first lap of asking on this first lap through Rascasse as well. And that isn't Rascasse. I don't know, but Adrian Sutil, in the meantime, just randomly decided to pit, and I'm not entirely sure why. Must have just got a nosebleed from being so high up the order, but still, we're up into 9th place. We managed to catch Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso and Felipe Massa and Jenson Button in the McLaren. Button was holding everyone up as we come through the tunnel now, and we managed to bridge the gap of around about 2 seconds in a few laps, and the dry pace here is really looking quite good indeed as we head now down towards Mirabeau, of which the corner I know the name of because of the random Rosberg and Hamilton altercations, but as you can see, on to lap 8 we are still stuck behind this gaggle. The rain is starting to fall. I actually predicted that it would already be Inter's conditions by now. To say it was 94% chance of rain, I'm a bit disappointed. Down into Mirabeau we go, and just because of the sheer nature of this track, it is so hard to overtake. But down into the Lowe's hairpin, we're going to lunge up the inside, and we have truly Adrian Sutil our way up into 8th place. A nice clean move there into the Lowe's hairpin, up the inside of Sebastian Vettel, who did not see it coming. And now we're just going to literally try and systematically get our way through this order. We've done it once, and we now have the confidence to do it again. As you can see, coming through that complex, the casino complex, and down now into Mirabeau yet again here. On lap 11, we've got Alonso, Massa, and Jenson Button still holding us up. An absolute treat. And up the inside of the Ferrari we go. No contact yet again. And that is move done up into 7th place. 2 positions made from that exact same move. We've literally Adrian Sutil'd our way up into 7th place, so props to Sutil, but still we've skated really wide there. And interesting strategic suicide from Felipe Massa, because as the rain is starting to fall, and it's imminent, inters are imminent, and as you can see onto lap 13, inters are now needed, not just imminent. So Massa and Alonso, in fact, came in on that last lap to put a new set of options on, but as you can see, we have made a horrible mistake down into Mirabeau. We've smacked half our front wing off. The end fence is gone, Vettel's gone through, a stupid mistake, but due to the wet conditions now, as we are on the wrong tyre compound, but crucially, Nico Hülkenberg has jumped us, and let's be honest, at the end of this lap, everyone's going to smack themselves into the pit lane to slap on some intermediate tyres, and that is exactly what happens. We're down to 21, someone's retired from the race. That's completely immaterial, because we are about to get the stat glitch, as Nico Hülkenberg gets into the pit lane in front of us. We managed to cover that off. We managed to cover that off so well, but a lap before we pit, due to the wet conditions, we've got a front wing change imminent as well, but the guys are just doing nothing. They're just stood there watching the car, thinking that it's going to fix itself. Well, it isn't. You have to do something, and an absolute horror story of a pit stop. Felipe Massa is in front of us again. He pitted. We had like a 25-second lead over Felipe Massa. That is basically the extent of what we've just lost. Hülkenberg is gone. He's up the road. We're down to 10th. We were in 6th because Massa had committed strategic suicide, but now it's all fine and dandy for him because of the bloody pit stop glitch. But still, that's beyond the point. We're on to intermediate tyres. There's nothing we can do. We are absolutely, though, however, all over the back of Felipe Massa, and I think I know what you guys are thinking. You've seen it twice already. I'm just lunging, bam, up the inside at the Lowe's hairpin yet again for the 3rd time, this time in the rain. And all 3 times it's been a pretty clean move. As you can see, onto lap 16, and Magnussen is face first in the wall, down at the chicane after the tunnel. And that's us up into 8th place. Magnussen we were catching at a pretty steady rate. He was only about 2 seconds up the road and just decided to fling himself at the wall. And on the next lap, we'll just have to listen to the team radio. So my engineer telling me that Nico Hülkenberg, my teammate, is now out of the race on lap 17. Just moving on quickly, let's have a look at the minimap. As you can see, there's a dot there off the track and it is about to disappear. That is another car out of the race. We're down to 18. Don't know who it is. Magnussen out, Hülkenberg out, our teammate. Someone else is out here on lap 19, and we have got a say. I said it at the start of the video. We've got a safety car deployed. It's just mandatory. At Monaco, in these conditions, we were always going to get a safety car. 3 retirements in 3 laps. Don't know what happened to Magnussen. It would appear as though Hülkenberg went out at the same corner down at the chicane on the very next lap. That's promoted us up 2 positions now. The other retirement was clearly someone who was already behind us because we've not moved up another position. As you can see, you might be thinking to yourself, Niran, it's a safety car, why aren't you pitting? There's 2 reasons, basically, because as the safety car was coming out, my pit engineer was telling me it was going to stop raining in 15 minutes' time, so I knew with the addition of a safety car, it was going to be dry by the end of the race, so I didn't really see the point in sticking another set of intermediate tyres on. And as you can see to the right-hand side, the tyre wear isn't really good enough. Bad enough. The tyre wear isn't really bad enough for me to actually require a new set of intermediate tyres at this current stage. So we're going to just stick on with it at the moment. We're back up to green flag conditions as we're about to move on to lap 22. The leaders will have now moved on to lap 22 after about a 4-lap or 3-lap safety car. It took us absolutely ages to catch up to the back of the queue. I think we were the sole reason why the safety car was out for so long. But we restart, of course, into 7th place on the same tyres. We may have missed an opportunity to pit, but I don't think it's too required. I think it would have just literally been extra work and an extra pit stop. As you can see, though, Jenson Button and Kimi Räikkönen up in front are stuck behind Jules Bianchi. He's doing us an absolutely huge favour into the final corner. It's a shambles of a move, let's be honest. We've been helped hugely by Jules Bianchi. In the Marussia, we managed to get up the inside of Kimi Räikkönen there into the last corner. Jenson Button held up hugely there as well. And the back market AIs for once doing us somewhat of a favour behind Räikkönen now is a Cure Cars Massa, Alonso there as well. But as you can see now, moving on to lap 29, nothing really happened in those last few laps. But as you can see, it's now starting to dry up somewhat. So let's hear a little team radio yet again.
The track is looking pretty dry now. You should pit in and fit the dry compound.
Right, so literally incredible timing just as we're coming through the last corner, my team engineer, my radio man, has told me it's dry enough for option tyres. The guys behind, yet again, haven't come in. The guys in front haven't, and we are literally going against the grain here. We're down into 10th. We will, I think, be 11th by the time we come out. No, we're still 10th, actually. That must have been a lapped car. A few guys as well coming in behind. Max Chilton up in 11th place. And as you can see now, onto lap 30, we may well do a good job here of bridging the gap to Jenson Button, because with an extra lap now, as we slam into the wall on the inside, with an extra lap of on these dry tyres, on these option tyres, on a drying track, surely we'll get some sort of humongous undercut. As you can see, the rest of the guys coming to the pit lane, a massive cluster of cars. We're going to move back up into 6th place. They're past Kobayashi, past Kimi Raikkonen. Jenson Button is still 9.3 seconds in front, but he's just come out of the pit lane, and I think now it is time to get the hammer down and try and catch him. Right, so 5 laps later, we have caught Jenson Button, 2 fastest laps of the race. These option tyres were working like an absolute dream in these final few laps. As you can see, we're now in the DRS zone of Jenson Button. That's not going to help us too much down this straight, but we'll be looking to shape up yet another Lowe's hairpin overtake, I do believe. We are stuck behind him until lap 37, down into the Lowe's hairpin. We're going to think of a move, but we duck out of it in the end. There's not enough room. Button just taps the wall on the outside, but we just duck out of the move there. Not quite close enough. As you can see, though, through Mirabeau, we're a lot closer onto the penultimate lap of the race. We're going to go up the inside, and yet again, we have made it through, and now up into 5th place, a long way up the road to Sebastian Vettel. But we are now through, up into 5th place. We've managed to gain 9 seconds on Button in 5 laps. We've worked our socks off in this Force India to catch him. Incredible pace in this last stint. And now Jenson Button is coming back at us down into this tricky chicane where Adrian Sutil crashed in real life. There's been all sorts of crashes actually down there in real life. I think it was Esteban Gutierrez in 2013 crashed there as well, but still getting a little bit unsettled. But now moving on to the last lap of the race through the casino section, and Jenson Button is tagged right to the back of us down into Mirabeau yet again on this final lap of the race. I think Lewis Hamilton is actually going to win the race outright. But what a race this is. Like, I haven't even just stopped to think of how awesome this race has actually been. Starting from 13th on the grid, just in general, to start 13th and finish 5th if we can hold on. Even 6th is an incredible effort, but this race has been absolutely topsy-turvy. Can you even remember me smacking my front wing off and dropping behind everyone because of stacking in the pit lane? But everything's changed so many times in this race. It's just been to and fro. Lewis Hamilton has in fact won the race. We look as if we've been able to now fend off Jenson Button. I'm really proud of myself for actually managing to catch Jenson Button. That was a huge gap we managed to catch. And, well, we just cut that corner, absolute treat. To be honest with you, I just gave up on it. Wasn't even to try and keep in front of Button. I was going wide and just gave up on the corner, in all honesty. But we're coming round now, the final corner, rounding the final corner, and down the straight to the finish line. And we are going to come 5th here in Monaco. Yet another brilliant result. And this time, it is an absolute stunner of a race. We haven't had some incredibly entertaining races so far this season, but that is a 10 out of 10. Absolutely awesome race. With a safety car, changeable conditions, all sorts of shenanigans going on throughout. Lewis Hamilton has won the race in front of Daniel Ricciardo in the Red Bull. He managed to just about fend off Nico Rosberg in 3rd, in front of Sebastian Vettel in 4th. We claim 5th just in front of Jenson Button after hunting him down in the final few laps. Kimi Raikkonen takes 7th, but that man again, he's been there all season performing miracles. Kamui Kobayashi in the Caterham slaps himself onto the points table with 4. A massive dollop of 4 points. Adrian Sutil claims 9th. No idea why he pitted on the first lap, with Fernando Alonso in 10th, Max Chilton there 11th, just outside the points in front of Felipe Massa. The 4 retirements being Valtteri Bottas, our teammate Rosberg, Magnussen, who of course we saw, and Jean-Eric Vergne being the first of the retirements. Here is the Drivers' Championship. As you can see, something glitches in the background. Lewis Hamilton leading it by I think about 8 points in front of Nico Rosberg. Then it's 24 back to Daniel Ricciardo. In front of ourselves there in 4th. Sebastian Vettel catching us gradually in the championship at the moment in this current run of form, and he finished just 1 position position in front of us in today's race, so he closes the gap yet again. Fernando Alonso there in 6th in front of his teammate Raikkonen, Button, Hulkenberg, our teammate, Massa in 10th there, Magnussen, Kamui, Kobayashi up in 12th now. We're on a Sutil, Kvyat and Verne with Bottas still without any points. As you can see here is the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes well out in front by 66 points in front of Red Bull. Ourselves and Ferrari still inseparable there for 3rd in the championship, so 3rd for us, 4th for Ferrari in front of McLaren, Williams and now Caterham up in 7th place due to that incredible 4 points for Kamui Kobayashi. But I really hope you have enjoyed today's episode of F1 2014 Career Mode. It was an absolutely stunning race. I really hope you enjoyed. Feel free to smash the like button if you enjoyed. Feel free to comment if you enjoyed it that much, and subscribe if you are new around here. Subscriptions recently, as I say every single episode, have been awesome recently, so feel free to do that. It's been a pleasure ranting you guys today. Have a good day, enjoy yourselves, and enjoy the highlights.